All right, let's take it to the judges. All right, we have three pretty interesting products here. We have a coffee, a tea, and an energy drink. Which one stood out for you, John?
Just put me on the spot. Let's see. I mean, I guess I like, probably components of each. Jade Monk sort of fits into the whole, HPP craze. I really like that it's got, 4-month shelf life. I think that's, certainly a nice differentiator. It was interesting to me that, I sort of feel like what Black Medicine was selling against, which is, cold brew, is kind of what, almost Jade Monk is kind of selling to us. But those, probably stood out to me, of the three.
Now, it's interesting because, Black Medicine, we had talked about this a little bit earlier, it's not a cold brewed drink, which is pretty much one of the hottest trends right now in coffee. It's a pressure brewed drink. Chuck, what do you think of that?
It's pretty loud. Yeah, I liked the concept of Black Medicine. I think I was a little bit confused because it has to be refrigerated. It says it needs to be refrigerated, so I was a little bit confused about that, I guess. And I'm a little bit confused about the name too, Black Medicine. The name medicine, I don't know. I know why you're trying to do that, but it just seemed a little bit confusing to me. If you didn't know the story, know the history of this, you might be a little bit confused about it. But the taste was terrific. I think the taste coming out of it was great. The other thing I was a little bit confused about was the icon. It has a vice as an icon. I'm not sure the reason for that. But the packaging overall was very strong. I think it's it's going to stand out. I think it'll be very marketable. Can I talk about Jade a little bit?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. I really like Jade a lot. It tasted terrific. It tasted like tea. Really, the tea taste really comes out in it. The name itself, again, was a little bit confusing to me. I guess it's trying to get the Japanese feel to it. And again, needs to be refrigerated. And it's very low calorie. Again, I think the packaging could use some work, honestly, but the product itself, I think, is really, really good. And the Positive Beverage, the thing I'd say about Positive Beverage, it seemed we talked a lot about energy and all natural energy function. Yeah, the packaging really says functional water. And for me, I mean, it tastes terrific. I think the packaging is very positive packaging. It's very attractive packaging. I think the fruit looks really great on it. The only thing I'm confused again about with that is the fact that it sounds like you're marketing as a natural energy.
Dwayne, looking at all the different packages, building on what Chuck talked about, which ones for you really had the chance to make it on the shelf with the packaging they currently have?
With the packaging they currently have, I'd say Black Medicine. It's a dynamite-looking package. From a product perspective, for me, Jade Monk, it hits on a couple things that are very hot right now. Matcha has been hot for 10 years and remains hot. Nobody, at least to my knowledge, has really broken out with that ingredient forward from a positioning perspective. But the way they're doing it, I love. I can't remember where the Jade Monk guy sat, but there you go. I would address the graphics, the packaging on that a little bit. The product is there.
In terms of formulation, Mark, again, cold brew tea is something that's really new to the industry. I guess so is pressure brewed coffee. So, what do you think of the formulations of these products?
For Black Medicine, I like the taste. I like the idea of something unique from cold brew. I like cold brew, but I think there's room for that. And I think the packaging's great. I just don't get the message. I don't get again, with the vice. I like the packaging, but it just doesn't communicate to me that there's something unique about the coffee. And I would say to never mention nitrogen in your product statement or packaging, because I think that's just no one's going to get it. It's a turnoff. I think I agree on the formulation of Jade Monk. I think it's awesome. It's strong. You got to love matcha to get it, but you get it. You can't miss that taste profile, and I think there is an opportunity to break out on that. What I'd say is, can you figure out something different than the same bottle for HPP? It's like, you go into the stores of a Whole Food and they got the whole rack. You got to have something that's differentiated. I'm sure it's tough to find, but it's just everywhere, and I kind of feel that way about Positive Charge too. I'm personally not wild about the formulation. I think it's very generic. It doesn't excite me. I think the package is pretty generic as well, and this is one I think is going to struggle the most.
Okay, good advice. Let's move on.